It's time for some of these YouTube popular movie critics and uh, other people that review video games. They're not really movie critics, but they're getting into movies now to be put to task. I don't believe they're to be trusted. And I will tell you why. Because there's something very fundamental and very, very important that is missing from their reviews. And we're going to talk about that right now. Hello friends, Music Man from his man cave. It's time for these guys to be put to task. There's one thing that is missing big time from their reviews, and that is morality. Family values. Any values whatsoever. Now, I want to warn you right now, some of the stuff I'm about to go into that I've witnessed these movie critics are doing is not appropriate for children. So if you have a 13-year-old or younger, they're not going to want to listen any longer to what I'm about to say. I have stated many times what my beliefs are, and I am stunned and offended by some of the reviewers that I watch and what they do and what they say. Even the beloved Richard Roper, who used to be a very classy act, is now dropping the F-bomb during his reviews and saying other ungodly language. Which is really a disappointment because I really respected him as a professional. What brought this about is this last week was called unprofessional. Let me tell you what I think is unprofessional. There's a certain reviewer of video games and movies that actually sits and cusses vulgar, pervasive profanity. I mean language like you've never heard before. He says at least, I watched one review in which he said the F word at least 102 times. Okay? And to me that is not acceptable. That is unprofessional. It is disgusting. He is very popular. Millions and millions of subscribers. I wonder who these white trashy, or these trashy people, they don't have to be white, but who these trashy people are that like this guy. Because man, he is disgusting. And even one of his episodes, he actually acts like he's masturbating to one of his video games. I kid you not. He acts like he's masturbating, and he loves to do that a lot. Some of the games that he reviews, if he likes them, he acts like he's watching the video game and playing with himself. And what the world calls jerking off, masturbating. It's repulsive and it's disgusting. Now let's talk about the movies in which they recommend. Some of the movies they recommend are absolutely repulsive and disgusting. Okay? They're either highly promoting the gay, lesbian lifestyle. They have pornography in them. They promote cartoons that have pornography in them. There is nothing they will not watch. They have no scruples about any movie that comes out and them going to attend. An illustration of this would be all of them love the movie Deadpool. Well, I found it very junior high potty humor. And that's what I will say, junior high potty humor. It was disgusting. It was revolting. It took something that's supposed to be geared toward kids and comic books and so forth, and turned it absolutely into something revolting and inappropriate. I mean, highly inappropriate. And so, and I was shocked at the end of the movie to see little boys between the ages of 5 to 8 years old walking out of this movie. These parents should be arrested on the spot. This is literally child abuse. This movie was absolutely revolting. I went to it by the recommendations of some of these critics, and like I told you, they're not to be trusted. They said it was a great movie, and it was not a great movie. Morally, I would give it a 0. It was absolutely disgusting and vile. Very carnal, and something you would not even go to see. Another illustration of this is every one of them went to see a movie that you knew was going to be bad because some hideous old woman wrote something on her cell phone and made a book about abusive sex. Basically where a woman is abused by a man and signs a contract to be abused because the guy's a millionaire hunkarama or something. And everyone went to it. Every one of them went to it. I didn't. That is not something that should appeal to a professional. They should not be watching such schmaltz. It's absolutely disgusting. It's revolting, and you know it's going to be in poor quality. How can you make a film like that and not have it be R? You know, and so of course they were disappointed and were wondering why the movie that they went to disappointed them. Now, another thing that they do is every one of them uses absolutely gutter profanity. Every one of them. I have not found an exception. Okay, you name them, and they do. Jeremy Jahns swears like a sailor. Chris Stuckmann is probably one of the more professional, but he will all of a sudden just drop the F-bomb out of nowhere when I'm watching one of his reviews, and people, my entire family is like, what on earth is going on? What are you watching? He has embarrassed me on many, many occasions. Why they cannot keep their language professional and have words that are intellectual to say instead of just dropping down profanity is beyond me. Of course, there's others that are much, much, much worse. They literally will go into screaming fits of rant where they are saying every kind of pervasive language that you can possibly imagine that would be a very, very hard R-rated movie in the secular world. So this is a beef that I have with these movie critics. They are not to be trusted. I wouldn't listen to any of their advice on any movie to attend. They have no morals. They have no values. They are not for the American family. They're all about making money on YouTube. I don't really know what is really driving them, or the art and the love of film. And to do that, they're digging to the bottom of a garbage can to get a kernel of corn. I don't think it's worth it, personally. There's many movies that come out, and I know immediately that it's something that I'm not going to attend because it looks offensive. What could be some illustrations of that? No Strings Attached. Friends with Benefits. These guys went to these movies and they actually enjoyed them. Bridesmaids. They went to this movie and they enjoyed them. Okay? And on and on and on and on. So we have a lack now in the movie, the critical world of movie review, of people actually, well, Chris Stuckmann's not guilty of this. He actually does give some pretty good things. He talks about script writing. He talks about exposition. He talks about climax. He talks about resolution. He talks about setting. And he talks about script writing, editing, you know, things that really relate to the movies. That's when I want to watch a movie review, that's what I want to know. Does it have a good story? Is it well written? So forth. I don't know if there's just a lot of explosions, or how many, you know, I definitely want to know if there's things in there that are going to offend me, or that I should not take family members to and embarrass myself. That is very important. So I make sure that I do my research now, because these men are not to be trusted. And it can't be slander when it's absolutely true. Go to any of their videos now, and you will see that they swear like crazy. And Jeremy Jahns swears like crazy. He uses gutter profanity. So does Chris Stuckmann. Acts professional, and then all of a sudden he will shock you with his profanity. And others that are popular movie critics right now on YouTube. What I would really like to see is someone come along that would be very matter of fact and let you know exactly what is going on in the movie, give a very thorough analysis of the art of filmmaking, and not use profanity. That would be refreshing to see here on YouTube. But I guess I'll have to keep hoping, because I haven't found one yet. If you know someone to recommend, let me know down below, because I have jumped off that wagon of film reviews. I've got some catch up to do for retirement, and I am not going to go to every movie out there that comes down the pike. It's just not going to happen with me. Besides, people really aren't interested, in my opinion. Very many. I do have some that are interested in my opinion, but these guys have millions that are interested in their opinion. How unfortunate for American families today that this is the best YouTube critics that we have. Basically guys that anything goes. Liberal. Extremely liberal. If it comes out, they're there. They watch it. Horror, lesbian, porn, you name it, they watch it. Sad. Bye.